2 years ago, I lost $100,000 in less than 1 month. And here are the five biggest lessons that I had and can take away, and how this can help you as a business owner continue to scale. My name is Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Lead Lab. We've helped 550 agents issue pay $40,000 per month in the past 4 years. And on this channel, I talk about the strategies, tactics, and behaviors that you can go out and execute. So today, I'm going to be breaking down a mindset and the five things that I learned, and hopefully this helps. So as always, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's hop right into it. So let me give you some quick context on everything we're about to go through today. So 2 years ago, I lost $100,000 and was in debt 100K in my business. I had to give you context. I had just got cut from NFL in September 2024. I was hiring staff like crazy to try and scale. I had no idea how to run a company. I'm only really 1 year in to the business, doing lead gen agency as part-time, still pursuing the NFL. I'm running ads, right? I'm trying to train sales team. Plus, I am still pursuing the NFL. All right. And what essentially happened is by November 6th of 2024, I had to sit down with my team. I told them, look, we are literally about to go out of business. I have $100,000 in credit card debt. I have about $25,000 of overhead to pay between everybody at the end of the month. I need to cut people, let people go, and you guys should probably just leave, because at the end of the day, I don't have much. You should go get into other jobs. I'll bring you back if things work out, but I wouldn't be mad if you leave transparently, because I need to figure stuff out. It's funny because I would always listen to like Hormozi tell his story, for those that don't know who Alex Hormozi is. And he talk about how like he lost it all twice. And although I didn't lose it all twice, I do feel like I got my dream taken away from me for football after working my whole life. And then I built a business that I thought was somewhat decently successful. I mean, at the time that I'm saying this, we were probably pumping like 80 to 100K. Margins were like 45%, which is horrible because of the way I had things set up. But that's okay. Actually, it was a little higher than that. It might have been like 50, 55, 60%. So it was pretty solid, but it was not stable. I was overpaying certain people. I had no idea what I was doing staff wise. I was literally just selling myself money. Like it was bad. But when I lost it all that time, it was a multitude of things. So I started off the year of 2024 by investing and essentially like roadmap. How did we get here? So I started off the year in 2024 by essentially investing in a company called Air AI. For those that don't know, it was a software, but now obviously there's tons of dialing out softwares, but it was a software. I think I spent 50 to 75,000 or something like that. I bought in. I had access to the equipment for lifetime. They had all these Zoom calls. It was like supposed to be the next best thing. And unfortunately, after I did that, about a year into it, the company no longer even exists anymore. But I started to say, like, at the beginning of the year, I had about $200,000 in my bank account. And I was like, dude, I'm good. Like, I was like, life's good. I'm not really spending much on ads. Like, I'm chilling. Like, business will always be booming like this. You know, I'm good. And I realized that that was not the truth. Slowly but surely, I started running ads again. We started kind of getting some clients. We went from doing, let me take a step back on how we got here, because I started the company in 2022, right? 2023 was like our first full year. So in 10 months, we did $1 million, which now thinking about it is absolutely not crazy good, but it was still like halfway decent. Right? So we were averaging around $100,000 a month. Yeah, like averaging like $100,000 a month. We had a few like 160 and then a few like 60 or 80 months. So it's kind of up and down. But I didn't run any ads. I did all that off of organic. And I was like, yo, this is how business is forever. And then when I got to the league and I stopped networking and doing all the things I was doing, I quickly realized that like, that is not how this works. So what I ended up doing was I was like, look, how about as I continue to scale, I'm going to start spending money on ads. And so I started doing ads, and I'll be honest, I had no idea what I was doing until eventually I bought into a course in 2024. So I'd spent that money in January for Air AI, dropped 50, 75,000, whatever it was. And then I got a mentorship, which actually was a blessing, grand scheme, because it taught me and allowed me to meet my COO. But in the midst of it, I just invested into this program. And I was like, yo, forget all the stuff I know. I'm gonna go ahead and like build, do this thing called build and release. Like I'm gonna just make this thing where like they're gonna pay me this high ticket service, on the back end, I'm gonna sell them all this stuff. Like it's gonna be great. And it wasn't the offer, it was really me. Like I didn't structure it properly. I also was not the business owner that was prepared for something like that. But it also required like appointment setters, dialing, like it was so much other stuff that like I was promising people and realizing that like that didn't work either. To the point where I started hiring all these people. I tried to put in all these systems and stuff. And like we went from making money, making 60, like I said, 60, about 50 to 60% profit margins to like literally like 30% profit margins with way more overhead. So like I was just absolutely getting smacked. And I was in the NFL at the time. I was like, I kind of would have done things differently, but it is what it is. I was in training camp, like running business, whatever. And the training camp ends, I get cut. At the time, I was like, well, worst case scenario, I'm going to make all this money on the practice squad so I can just reinvest and pay back some of this debt. It wasn't 100,000 at the time. It was like 15,000 in August. And then September came and then I got cut. So then I got cut. That extra income I was expecting to come in didn't come in. And then it started stacking, like just stacking. So it went from like 15 to 40 and then 40 to 70 and then 70 to 100 at the beginning of November. And that was $100,000 in debt. Plus, I started to pay my like monthly overhead, which is about like 25 to 30K, right? Between all my staff and then my media buyer and all that stuff. So I let my media buyer go. I had to basically, all my team, their pay got cut in half. So they were basically working like, they were getting paid part-time, but it was like kind of full-time work. Except for one person, I was like, yo, let's figure this thing out. And that leads me to what I now have learned with my business, now doing over $600,000 a month, what I've learned now. Right? So here are the 5 lessons. Okay? So here are the 5 lessons the way I've made them. Right? Lesson 1. Or I have the right lesson 1. Failing is inevitable. So just go along with it and take it as a prereq to success. Right? All right. I feel like people say this. I've heard this, but I didn't get it. Here's what I realized. Okay. Failing, it's inevitable. You have to go along with it and you have to take it as a prerequisite. This is the most important thing. The prerequisite to success. Yo, you will fail. You will probably lose it all or lose a large portion of it. And that's okay because you have to go through that. Like there will be major hiccups. And you have to be okay with that. When you don't think that that will happen, and then it happens, it gets worse. Like in my mind, I'm like, damn, bro. Like, how are you this person? I'm like, bro, the only way that you could do that is that the only way that you can get to where you're trying to go is that like you will fail. Now, disclaimer. What I'm going through is only for my ambitious people, right? Like transparently, the amount of people who can run a business that can make even $100,000 a month, I don't know the numbers. Matter of fact, let's just do this. How many businesses make $100,000 per month? Statistically. Dude, oh my goodness, my math is horrible. My writing is horrible. If you make $100,000 a month, that puts you in the top 4 to 5% of all businesses. Out of 36 million small businesses in the US, only a small fraction achieve this elite tier. As a vast majority, let me click back and click over. As a vast majority are solopreneur or micro business making under $50,000 annually. Okay. All right. How many businesses make $500,000 a month statistically? $500,000. So only 5% of all businesses reach 1 million in annual revenue. So that means that if you're making 500K, I'm only talking to the big dogs, the people to get somewhere in their business. These are for the same people that are life insurance agents and agency owners. Because then my next question is, how many life insurance agency owners make $1 million per month? Oh my goodness, how many life insurance agency owners make $2 million per month? And you just start doing the math, and then you realize that it's not a lot. So you just got to realize that if you're listening to what I'm saying right now, if you even watch my content, you know who you are. These lessons are for you. Okay, failing is inevitable. Just go along with it and take it as a prerequisite to being successful. Period. You have to understand that that is a part of it. Okay, team is everything. In tough times, truly show you good of a leader you are. All right, here's what I've understood about this. I'm not boasting myself up. I'm only speaking from what other people have told me about my leadership style. I asked the team, why did you guys stick with me? They literally said we would stick with you through anything. Like we would work for free just to work with you because of who you are as a leader. Your boy almost shed a tear, right? What I realized is that your team is everything. You are nothing without your team. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what ever tells you. I don't care what it doesn't even matter. And your team as an agent, for context for my agents that are watching, well, I don't have a team. I don't have staff. Yes, you do. Your upline, manager, partner, whatever you want to call them, that doesn't matter. That's your team. They are the reason why you are able to be successful. They have a team. You tap into them. You are not in this on your own. You did not learn how to do this on your own. If you did learn how to do this on your own, pay credit to the person that you're watching. Whatever YouTube channel, whatever course you bought, whatever consultant, that is the team that's helping you. Tough times truly show you how good of a leader. Good team, tough time will show you if you actually have a good team. Y'all have a great team. Do you actually have a great team? You may not actually have a great team. You may think that you have a great team. You don't actually have a great team. All right. Number 3, everyone is going through the same thing you want. This one didn't make sense to me because I didn't necessarily have the direction. Now, the reason why I think it's important is because you have to have the direction. What I mean by that is I was just doing business. I was literally just doing business. You have to understand, when I started Agent Lead Lab, it was purely out of necessity. I'm like, yo, I'm playing ball. I want to do something on the side. I'm trying to get to the league. I need money. Selling life insurance takes up too much of my time. Let me do this. Yes, I can sell, and I did it while I trained, but it was very, very difficult. Why don't I train? When I get to the league, I start this business. Let's do 2 and 2 and let's make it happen. Right? That's actually how it worked. I was like, yo, I cannot keep selling and trying to lead from the front and showing up on like the things that I have to do to be a life insurance agent to make money at a high level require too much of me. I want to get to the league. How can I get to the league and still make decent money? I got to create my own thing. I got to make my own business. I can do that as a life insurance agent, but the amount of time it required, it just wasn't making sense. I wasn't able to train with the people in the afternoon. I had to train early in the morning. A lot of my coaches and stuff I wanted to work, like it was just messing up. I was like, dude, I got to be able to do what I want when I want. And I was like, I'm going to have to take it. Hey, I'm not going to make as much money as I would if I was an agent, but I'll make more than I would if I was working 9 to 5. So now that I understood that, I was like, all right, cool. I get it, right? The reason I'm saying everyone is going through the same thing to get to where you want to go is that when you're an agent, there's a prerequisite, there's a list of things, that you need to do in order to get to your end desired result. You need to start dialing at a certain time. You need to start buying a certain number of leads. You need to get so many reps in. Like these are just natural prerequisites that you have to do. Like I don't care what anybody says, you have to do them. Doesn't matter. If you don't do those things, you're not going to get to where you want to go, right? So you think that you're special because you went through these failures, but everybody that's got to where you're trying to go has went through those failures. I'm like, yo, for me, right now, I'm like, when I was making $100,000, I had to do things differently than I do now. I also have to pay people a whole lot more. Dog, I never thought I'd be paying somebody $20,000 a month. Another person 10. Payroll is, you feel me, 50, 60 bands, 70 bands for payroll. I thought when I was paying $30,000 across everybody, including myself, that was a lot. Now I'm paying, not even including myself. I guess on paper I am paying myself. Like I'm paying everybody close to 100K, like sometimes. So it's like, In order to get to where you want to go, you have to, everybody has gone through this phase. If you want to write XYZ in business, they've went through this phase. No matter where it's at, it's like, dude, they've went through this phase. So it's like, if you understand that, you're like, all right, bet. These are the necessary things, right, that I have to go through. Okay. Now, number 4. Okay. And this one was very, very, very difficult for me to understand. But the more I think that I've grown, I've realized that this is like the super important thing, the one thing. Okay. And if you've ever read that book, I think it's by Gary Keller. It's called The One Thing. It's essentially saying, like, you focus on one thing, like the most important thing, all the other pieces of the puzzle will fall together. Okay. I'm saying this in relation to, like, typically it's just one thing you have to do and get really good at, and all the other things as an agent, an agency owner, a business owner will fall in line. So let me give you exactly what I did to get out of my situation. I said, what's the one thing that people really, really, really want? I need to make an offer around the one thing that they really, 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 really want. If I can do that, I will get people back in the door. And I said, it's X, which I will be coming up with. I'm not even going to reveal it right now. Once I figured out what that one thing was, I said, I'm going to start sending DMs, text messages, reach out to people, to every single person I know, to say I have a solution for that one thing. And then I'm going to start hopping on calls, and then I'm going to start pitching. And then guess what I found out when I started pitching, even though that wasn't really what they wanted? I was like, all right, bro, well, like, I'm kind of reinventing the business. I made it seem like we were like growing and like we're trying new things. Meanwhile, we were broke. I'm reinventing business. I'm like, dude, what do you want? I was like, dude, you were working with me before. So what I did, by the way, is every morning I was sending 50 to 100 DMs. I was sending 100 text messages to all the people on my phone. Then I went through everybody and go eye level. I just started reaching out to people. I mean, 3, 4, 5 times in a row. So funny enough, like, there's people now that I work with that, like, I see when we text how many times I text them before they responded. But I don't care. Like, I have no pride. I'm like, dude, most people are like, yo, I don't want to look like that. It's like, bro, I personally, it's like, yeah, cool. Think I'm a weirdo. Don't really care. But the one thing is this. I realized that every single person was like, bro, honestly, I just liked your business before you start doing all this other stuff. And I was like, so what are you going to, like, dude, just give me some leads, bro. Like, I'll just, like, you get this, that, and the third, this is the price. It's like, bro, just give me something. I was like, oh, okay. So then guess what I did? I was like, oh, makes sense. So here's what I'm going to do. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to start selling leads. I'm going to focus on the one thing. People just want good leads. And lo and behold, it made my life way simpler. I said, I'm just going to focus on the one thing. So in order, right, that I realized to, like, really see success in your life in any area, it's just like, bro, you just have to focus on the one thing. And if you don't have that book, go check that book out by Gary Keller. It's a great book. I'm almost positive it's Gary Keller. Let me just make sure I'm not giving you guys the wrong thing. There we go. Gary Keller, my dog. All right, bet. And then the last thing that I learned, right? And I have recognized over time that this is a lesson learned, but also it does require you to have that in factor and be willing to actually do it. And truthfully, it like really, 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 the truth of what I'm about to say is really simple, but okay. Now, this is what I have realized about getting up early, okay, and pushing yourself daily. And I'm putting these together because when I say push yourself daily, I just mean doing hard stuff every single day. Bro, getting up at 4 or 4:15 every day is hard. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I be tired on here. Dog tired. Last night was me and my wife's anniversary. I'm cooked. I'm like, yo, I'm tired. I don't want to get up. Yo, alarm rang. I'm like, bro, I only got like 5.5 hours of sleep. Damn. But I gotta go. Now, I'm not saying that I have to do this forever, okay? I'm not saying that you should just run yourself into the dirt because I rest. Don't get it twisted. I get my Sabbath in every week. I'm going to sleep, kick it back. I'll fall asleep. Like, I'm going to get my rest, but I'm going to stick to the routine, get up early, and push myself every single day. I max out from 8 to 8. I'm going. Now, I take breaks. Don't get it twisted, but I'm working. Like, I'm at this desk working. I'm walking on my walking path. Right? I'm being intentional all day long.
I can sit here and talk about intentionality, sales training, all this other stuff. That's great. But like these 5 lessons are everything. Because when I realized that if you get up early, here's the thing about getting up. People say, like, yes, let me take a step back. There are tons of people who've been uber successful that do not get up early. But we are not talking about the anomaly of people who typically, right, aren't like, they can wake up and just do it. There's so many people that cannot do that. Bro, if you don't set a routine, you are not going to just naturally do that. Do not. And the problem is, it's just like the Bible, in my opinion, right? I believe, my personal belief, the reason why God established the word, and specifically in Proverbs, but also when Jesus was speaking, is he clearly laid out, you do this, you don't do this. You do this, this is what you get. As if there was no gray. Because with him, there is no gray. But here's the thing, with us, there's possibility for gray. If we give ourselves wiggle room to have gray, we're going to have gray every single time. Every time. But if we don't, dog, we're straight. Because at the end of the day, what you have to understand is that if you say, well, I mean, I might wake up at 8, then tomorrow I'll wake up at 8:30. I can wake up at 9 and do this and do that. It's like, bro, as a life insurance agent, you can legally start calling people at 8 o'clock. So why in the world would I not start dialing at 7:59 or 8 o'clock? Tell me. That makes zero sense to me. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to do that. But the problem is that you're like, well, I'll start at 9. It's like, bro, that's why you're not making no cheese. If you got up early, and I'm not saying to get up at 4, you get up at 5, but you should not be getting up I'll be honest, you should not be getting up at 6 o'clock and trying to like max out the day. It's like, bro, by the time you get up, pray, do whatever you got to do, get in the car, drive to the gym or whatever, like, and actually get your day started. Like, let's say you hit the gym. Let's role play. Let's say you get up at 6, okay? Get up at 6 o'clock. You don't do anything. You don't pray. You brush your teeth at least. Grab a water, walk out the door. Say your gym is 10, 15 minutes away. Let's call it 15. 15 minutes away. You're at the gym by, say it takes you 5, 10 minutes to get out the door. Let's call it 5. 5 minutes to get out the door, right? You get to the gym by 6:20. Take your clothes off, do what you got to do, like unpack your bag, whatever. Say you start lifting at 6:25, 6:30. Let's call it 6:30, keep it simple. You start your lift at 6:30. You lift, you maybe run, or you run or whatever. You do that for 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, you shower, get out the shower, check your phone. You're out the gym by 7:35, 7:40. If you're going to the office, I mean, you'll get there by like maybe 8. It's like, bro, you want to be at the office at 7:30 to start at 8? Why are you pulling up to the office at 7:55, 8 o'clock, starting dialing at 8:30? Like, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, 6 o'clock is too late. Hit that 5:30, get your 30 minutes back, you're good. Hit that 5, you're really good. You got an hour to just do what you need to do. What if you need to prepare, watch some videos? Like, yo, there's so many other things you could do when you get up earlier. And I'm not saying you got to get up at 3, 4. I'm not even saying you got to get up at 4. But like 5 o'clock? If you're starting, you're locked in. Coffee, ready to roll by 8? Dog, like your frame of mind has got to be different. Right? You got to get up early and get things done, and you got to push yourself every single day. Every day you got to push yourself. You got to get the most out of the day, no matter what it takes. When you do that over and over and over and over again, that's when the differences come. That's when the growth happens. Right? So I'm going to go through these 5 real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Failing is inevitable. So just go along with it. All right? It's a prerequisite to being successful. You will lose tons of agents. You will have a lot of chargebacks. You will feel like you want to quit, or your business will whatever. That's a part of it. You need to go through that, right? Team is everything, right? And tough times truly show you how good of a leader you are. So your team is the most vital component of your growth, hands down, bar none. It's going to show you how good of a leader that you actually are, okay? Everyone's going through the same thing to get to where you want to go. So what level you're trying to get to, the same thing your mentor or whoever's giving you the guidance, they went through the same thing to get to where you're trying to go in their own way, shape, or form. Like everybody failed, everybody lost a lot of money. Everybody's got there's so many things that have happened for the people that are trying to get to where you want to go. There's only one thing that you need to focus on, one big overarching thing. Everything else will fall into place. It's honestly how it works. Yo, I just got to get really, really good at the intro. Cool. I got to get really, really good at building a vowel. Cool. I got to get really, really good at pitching options. Cool. I got to get really, really good at medical questions. I got to get really like, dude, and then eventually get good at sales. Okay, I got to get really, really good at posting every day. Okay, I got to get really, really good at this. It's like one thing, and then they stack. That's how it goes. Okay, and then get up early, get up with enough time, right? And then push yourself every single day. Like if you can do that and actually like get up early and it's like super uncomfortable, Saturdays included. Take your one day off. Like, dude, you will have a much better life and you'll make money. Like for me, what I realized is like, and I'll finish with like what I did differently, right? So I didn't realize that failing was just gonna happen. All right. So I'm gonna show you what I like my perception of these lessons before, right? My team showed me that they were everything, right? And I didn't even think I was a good leader until they told me. What I didn't realize is that in order to get to where I was trying to go, which I had no vision, and at the time I was like, all right, well, if I'm gonna build this, let's get to consistently doing $100,000, and then eventually last year I was like, let's start doing $200,000 a month. And then I had 200, I was like, dude, we might be doing $1 million a month. I was like, yo, I think it's possible, right? So like, then I realized like, okay, like in order to get there, like it's gonna take a lot, right? And then I got the book, and then the focus of the one thing, right? What's the one thing? I just need to sell leads. And then I realized that one of the reasons that I had ran into failure outside of like me hiring people and like just me doing all the wrong things as a leader, not being a great leader at that time, was in that off season in 2023 before I got to the league. I was getting up at 4 or 5, going to work out, and I was just in the business every day, just like making offers, talking to people. When I got to 2024, I started getting up at like 6:30, 7, and going to train, you know what I mean? Being on my team by like 11. Like I was just going through the motions. And then the moment I started saying like, yo, I hit rock bottom, I'm back to get up at 4 or 5. I have all my offers in by 7, 8. I'm just talking to people all day long and making pitches, making offers. I'm talking to people like this is all I'm doing, trying to make the ads better. Like I'm looking for opportunities. I'm texting people. I'm following up with people. I'm literally going out to make things happen. That's when things start just compounding. And that's when the difference happened. So hopefully this helps. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bless.